The future of Super Smash Bros. So for me, I'm going to start this off right now by saying I don't care what Sakurai says. Sakurai, like, I'm just going to give this example and why, like, I don't care what he has to say about this and how, like, what I think they may do. Sakurai was on record saying, just like pretty much flat out, like, yeah, I don't think we're doing like the whole DLC thing. Then we got Mewtwo. Slowly, we started getting legit DLC. Nintendo as a company, they've been on record. They came out with the DS and said, oh, this isn't going to be a successor to the Game Boy Advance. Even with backwards compatibility, they said that. So, with that being said, I don't care that Sakurai has been saying that he thinks that the next Smash game would be like a reboot, like it would like cut roster and like way less characters and stuff like that. I don't care that he's saying that, because personally what I think they're gonna do, which this is where, you know, I'm not gonna say that I'm like super 100% confident on this, because like a lot of times I make predictions and like I'm pretty confident, but I could see it not going this way. But what I personally think they're gonna do, I think for whatever the next console is, because I think Mario Kart is going down this road too. Mario Kart just got 6 bajillion courses. I feel like Nintendo is getting to a point where I don't know what the term is, but it's kind of like how League of Legends is, where there's the base game, and it's been around forever. But they have been making content for it for many, many, many years. I kind of feel like that's the route they're going with some of these games. Because with Smash Bros, I could envision them basically porting over Ultimate, where maybe they change moves, maybe they change like a core mechanic, but it's kind of like the same engine. Maybe they like boost up the graphics a little bit. But look at how much stuff Ultimate has. In my opinion, why would they make a reboot? Like there's what, like 80, I'm throwing this number out there. So like let's just say like 50 stages, right? There's a lot of stages. They go down to like 10. There's like 80 fighters in the game. They go down to like 10. Like it just, there's so much done to Ultimate. Why would we want to spend 60 or potentially 70, because games are going up, on a brand new game that has way less content, when they have the Ultimate game and they can just port it over, change enough stuff to charge for a full price game, and then just have DLC. And I really feel like Mario Kart is gonna do something similar. I feel like Nintendo has something weird up their sleeve for that next console, because they made arguably like the best iterations of their games. Like I'm tired of Mario Kart 8. I'm just tired of how it plays. I had my fun with it, but the new courses aren't doing anything for me. I need a new game. But that's where maybe they just change some of the mechanics of the game. I do not see them getting rid of all those courses for the next game. I don't. I think they're going to reuse them. And they're just going to change some sort of core mechanic, add characters, add cosmetics, what have you, and go down that route. And maybe that's where they don't even, well, it is Nintendo. They'll probably charge full price, but maybe they don't even charge full price. I feel like they have something weird up their sleeve. So with Smash Bros, I feel the same way. They did all this work, got all this licensing, did all of this stuff. I don't feel like it was just for one game. I just don't. And that's where I don't care what Sakurai says, because at the end of the day, Nintendo is going to say what they want to do. I mean, they could even not even consult Sakurai. It would be a lame move to do, but they could do it. And they just do what they want to do. Here's your new Smash game. It's Ultimate, but it has some retooling done. Some of the core mechanics were changed, but you got the whole roster there. Oh yeah, and we're gonna do DLC again. Just think about that too. DLC is such a hype thing for them. It gets so many eyes on Nintendo when they do character reveals. So if they started off, which like I don't know how big the roster would be if they start over. Let's just say even like 30 characters. Then they would have to skip out on adding so many of them, I feel like, because if it was like they don't include Bowser or something, and then it's like, oh, DLC, here's Bowser. How many eyes are they going to get for that? The people be like, well, I don't know, shouldn't he have just been in the game? Like, I feel like Smash is at a point where it's like there's so many characters that are just Nintendo staples that it'd be like, well, why weren't they just in the game? Like, are they going to cut DDD? Are they going to cut like? There's just so many characters where if they cut them, I feel like people would be so confused. Be like, well, why would they cut that character? I don't know. I feel like Smash is at a spot where a reboot would just be so strange. Because every single game built on the roster. Every single one did. It would be so strange. Like, imagine if you got into Smash with Ultimate. Like, because I'm talking about from someone that I played 64. So imagine starting with Ultimate, you buy the new console, you get the next Smash game, and there's like 20 characters. It'd be so weird. It'd be like, what? Why did they downgrade? Like, why did they do that? And maybe that's where, they have like 50. Maybe they have 50. That's still a lot. But that's still like over 20 characters cut. So I don't know. I don't see, like, I guess my main point is that so much work was put into games like Smash and Mario Kart with how much content there is that I don't understand why they would go, all right, get rid of all of that. And we're going to somehow showcase that having way less of this stuff is going to be more fun. Like, how? What could they possibly show off that would get people like, no, I really like that this game has way less stages, way less characters. This is great. Like, I don't, like, I understand people want move sets to be changed. Like, they're tired of the move sets being the same. They could do that with just kind of porting over Ultimate. They could change. They may not, but they could. I guess my main point is that I just don't understand. Like, people would still buy. I would still buy it. Like, people will still buy it. I'm not saying that it would just fail. It would probably still sell boatloads. But I just don't get, from like a company standpoint, why they would have put so much work and effort into something to then just slash it all. Because even if they put a ton of work and effort into new ones, if it has way less content, like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like if you looked at any other media and they had like this like amazing version of something, and then they released in like a new one and it just had way less stuff. Like, what? It'd be like a new iPhone. Here's a new iPhone. We improved the screen resolution, but like, it has way less RAM, way less storage, way less, like, you know what I mean? It would be like, what? Why would you do that? Wouldn't you want like all of it? The camera. We know we had like friggin' 3 cameras on the thing, but now we only have a front-facing one. It'd be like, what? It's like, I don't know. I don't see. I just don't like, and that's where I do think that for all of my predictions I've ever made, I tend to look more from the company side, and I think that's why a lot of people get annoyed with some of my opinions on this stuff, because they just think as like a fan. They're like, well, like, I want this or that, or like maybe it should be this or that. I'm looking at it from a company standpoint. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to cut all of that work and then just have, like, I mean, it literally is the ultimate game. It has so many stages, so many characters, so many songs. I can't envision. Here's the new game. It has way less stuff. Because then it would come down to the combat. What in the world do they change about the combat? Like, and then if you think of from like a casual standpoint, how in the world would showing way less stuff be enticing for someone to buy it? Like if I was talking to a casual player and I was like, "Oh, did you see the new Smash game?" And they're like, "No, like who'd they add?" And it's like, "Oh, they got rid of like 30 characters." Oh. Yeah, they added one. There's like two new ones. Like, oh, that's weird. Like, oh, like, well, how many stages? Like, oh, there's like less than half of what there was before. Like, oh, was there still like a lot of songs? Like, no, there's like 30. Like, Ultimate set such a high bar that I don't think they will do a reboot. I don't see it happening. Like, you can make the argument of like Mortal Kombat, that Mortal Kombat did that, but Mortal Kombat's a totally different game. Mortal Kombat, it never had that big of a roster as Smash did. And it's not the same thing. Those games are doing their own thing to try to like keep it going and keep it fresh. With what's like Smash, the difference with Smash Bros is that it's a fighting game that has characters that people fell in love with from other games. So when you look at it like that, cutting a bunch of these characters, it's a lot different. Like, I would argue a lot of people buy Smash Bros because they love a certain series. Oh, I love Kirby. They get Smash Bros. Mortal Kombat, people get into the characters, but that's if they give Mortal Kombat a try. So you're already like that audience is like that. I mean, that's what, like, when you look at the sales, like Smash Bros sells way more than any other platform fighter. It's literally the best selling platform fighter. Well, it's the best selling fighting game, period. Like, Mortal Kombat's not a platform fighter. It's the best selling fighting game. And I think it's like for a reason. Like, it's not because like, oh, the combat is bar none. The combat is by far the best. Like, people still have preferences on the combat with other fighting games. It's the fact that a lot of people that buy it, they don't even play other fighting games. They buy it because they love like a Nintendo series. So I don't know. I personally just don't think they're going to get rid of all that work that they did in Ultimate. Again, I could be wrong, and we could see a trailer and there's friggin' 10 characters. I don't know. But it's the side of that. I don't know how you market for the reasons that Smash Bros sells. I don't know how you market that. You market that it has less stuff by a good amount. Because talking about a reboot, I mean, it's not like it would have like 60 characters. Because then it'd be like, why'd they even cut any at all? Like, when they bring up, like, when the topic of reboots brought up, I'm envisioning like 30. Like, there'd be like 30 characters in the roster. Would that be terrible? No. But when you think about that, that's 40 characters gone. I mean, that's a big chunk. And then again, they're now advertising it. What are they advertising? Oh, we swear the combat's more fun. Casual player's not going to care to hear that. They're going to go, where's my Ridley? Where's my K. Rool? Where's my whoever? Where's Sora? Where, like, because I know people bring that up too. Like, oh, there's no way that they'd bring those characters back. I have a feeling that when they signed those deals, it was not just for Ultimate. I have a very strong feeling. I don't think it was only for that game. And not to go too far into this area, but I mean, with Mario RPG getting a remake, something that we never thought would happen, I personally think Geno is like absolutely happening in the next one. Which, by the way, if he doesn't happen in the next one, I think it's actually never happening, because he really is like an old character at this point, only in like one game. But yeah, I don't know. Because imagine the hype level if they keep the roster and then they just keep adding characters that people wanted. Like, they add Dante, they add Halo, I almost said Halo Chief. Wow. They add Master Chief. They add Geno. Like, that's why I just don't see it happening. I don't see them doing that. Because to me, Smash has become like what League of Legends is. You take it and you just keep adding more to it. And it's like the amount of profit. Ultimate is the best selling fighting game. And then you figure all of that DLC. If they can get all those people to get Smash again, and then do DLC again, and they didn't even have to tweak too much stuff on it, to put it over to another console, that is so much profit for them. As opposed to, because I remember when Smash 4 and Ultimate were happening, and we didn't know what Ultimate was, and everyone was talking about like port. It's going to be a port. It's going to be a port. It's going to be a port. And I was one of the ones that was like, I don't think it's going to be a port. Bottom line, because I got to be honest, I don't really know where I was going with that point. Bottom line is I have been in the midst of people all kind of agreeing on one thing, and I was kind of like, excuse me, I don't think that's what it's going to be. And because I remember everyone was so gung-ho about Smash 4 being a port, and I was like, I don't think it's going to be. And then it wasn't. Now I'm on the other side. So back then, I was one of the few people that was like, I don't think it's going to be a port. Everyone was saying that it was going to be a port. And I was like, I don't think it's going to be a port. Now, I'm on the flip side, where I think this is going to essentially be a port. And the reason why I had thought about this was because I was thinking about the topic of like, if they're trying to get a bunch of people to buy the game, I don't think anyone would choose to not buy it because it's a port. If they show that they're going to add more DLC, and they show that they have changed some movesets, they have changed some of the mechanics, people will buy it again. But I think it'd be a lot tougher of a sell if they just removed a bunch of content and then been like, no, like definitely buy it again. So that's the end of this video, because now I'm at the stage where I'm going to start circling back. So definitely let me know what you think in the comments. You can say that you think I'm completely wrong. That's fine. I'm curious what people think, because I really do feel like I'm one of the few people that thinks this way on this topic, where I genuinely think it's going to be more of a port rather than a reboot. So let me know in the comments below what you think, and take care.